I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I know at first sort of reading my title, Music as Art, seems like I've got my grammar wrong, but I really do mean that. I know of course music is an art form, but I mean music as art, as in pieces of art. And first of all, I think it's obvious that music itself, notation, treble clefs in particular, are really pretty. And so there's so much merch out there just with treble clefs and notes on it. It does annoy me sometimes because more often than not it's incorrectly written, but never mind, it does look very pretty. But I mean even more than that, I think music makes beautiful pieces of artwork. When I first met my husband, we were at art college. He was studying art, of course, and I was studying music, and he used music as one of his projects, and he did this silk screen print of Mozart. It's still on my wall now, absolutely love it. So it just shows it's a beautiful sort of topic in its own right. And then when I bought a copy of this Haydn sonata, it's the sonata in E flat, it came along with a sort of a facsimile of the original publication, well, the original manuscript I should say. And I love it so much that I took the first page of each movement and sort of mounted it and put it in frames on the wall, and I think it's just a beautiful piece of artwork. I must admit, I'm jolly glad that I don't have to play this. It looks beautiful, but I would not like to have to read it to play it as a piece of music. I think the publishers and the editors have their work cut out looking at these manuscripts, but they're so beautiful. So I mean, yes, there's pieces of artwork in their own right, but again, I mean so much more. There's a beauty to printed music, but there's a social history to it as well. And I have this little problem of collecting old scores, especially old choir scores. And I have here a really old version of Handel's Messiah. It's the old Prout edition. There's no way I'm ever going to sing from this copy ever. But I do think it's like a piece of social history, and I think it's just a shame to let it die away. Inside, this was a copy that belonged to my friend's mum, and inside there are all sorts of markings and sort of performance notes like breathe here, sit, stand, watch the conductor. And I just think it's like a real marvellous snapshot, and we're sort of reliving that performance over and over again, and I can't bear to let these go to waste. They have to sort of keep living on. And so I have a little problem, and I've gone through the whole house sort of ripping up all music and sticking onto bits of furniture and so on. And I look around me in the music room, let me think now, there's a writing desk that I've sort of given the Shabby Chic music treatment. The bookcase that all my music is stored on, that's all covered in choir music from old choir members. So I'm looking at it and I can see like scribbles and markings from previous performances. An old CD tower. I never listen to CDs now, it's all online, isn't it? But I took years and years collecting this great composers with magazines to go with it, and so I keep those CDs just for posterity, and occasionally I do sort of give them a bit of a blast through, but the CD tower, and also it's kind of a budget thing as well. I hate waste, and I hate furniture going to waste just because it's a bit old and crabby. So if I give it the Shabby Chic treatment, it's a double dose because it looks beautiful because it's music, and it kind of, the music lives on and so does the furniture. And I've gone through the whole house. There's in the hallway there's a shoe shine with all the shoe polish and shoelaces and things, and then there's an old table that used to be my great aunt's that my sewing machine sits on, and I've given that a bit of rippy sticky music treatment as well. Incidentally, that sewing machine, I still use it now. It's a hand sewing machine, and I had it when I was 7, and it just keeps going, and I really love it. It's so tactile just working with that hand sewing machine. So I've given that table the treatment as well. But my favourite project ever was a bureau that I did, and I think the bureau cost £10. It was sort of just languishing on a street outside a really dingy shop. and I did it up with music, and there's a whole video. I'll put a link to the video, it's in the Jolly Videos playlist. But I used old piano music that was given to me by a friend of mine, she's a real good friend of mine, who actually was my piano teacher. And incidentally, she then also taught my daughter a little bit as well. I taught her, but my friend taught her as well. And as you open the lid in the bureau where you sort of rest to write, there's a copy of a Chopin Waltz, and it's got her markings from when she herself was playing it. So it's like a snapshot in history of this chain of musical tuition where my friend was first learning the piece. She taught me, I taught my daughter, she also taught my daughter, and here on this writing bureau is a piece of this music just captured forever, and it's my favourite project ever, and I gave that to my daughter not long after she got married. And so I do think, of course, music is beautiful. It's beautiful to listen to, it's beautiful to play, but I think it's a beautiful thing in its own right just to look at in an artistic sense, and also in a sort of a historical sense as well. So in my eyes, if I keep on doing this, the music just keeps on living. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.